Everybody, it's Archangel Becca. We're back to play Bad End Theater. It's been about a week probably since I played it, but I'll just jump right back into it. Okay. Let's check and see what bad ends I need to get. Tyrant. Okay, so Tyrant, Disloyal, Diplomatic. Passive, and then we'll get that bad end. Alright. You're a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way out here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice. Set out on your adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around the grass, wild and free. Make your way along the path to the nearby human village. You encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. Consider your options. I'm just gonna tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, gobble her. No, that's one bad ending I already have like 3 times over. Yeah, I've eaten her like twice. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. Speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? Humans have independent societies. Wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? Maiden's going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. Bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Friends question your loyalty to the cause. Well, we're gonna... Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you were just joking, and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. And they say... Oh. They say you are always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. All your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her up in a room, and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. You can't back down now. You have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. Sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You're not sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. The Overlord, distracted, figures this is as good a chance as any. He launches a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. Tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. God. Heroic underling end. So heroic. Kill everybody. Get out of there. Alright, that was one bad end that I got new. Alright, I guess we'll do this other one. Okay, so we gotta be a tyrant, disloyal, hungry. Gotta go back to the castle. Dutiful. Tyrant, disloyal, hungry, dutiful. Underlord, service, boring. Heroes rarely come all the way out here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's the last game of play, staring at nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy. Thanks for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob, totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. No, you're sick of this Overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new Overlord. I like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around the grass wild and free. Make your way along the path to the nearby human village. You encounter a maiden. You seem very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. Consider your options. Now we'll gobble her up. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought. You feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. People are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. We're gonna change our mind and go. Rude. Yeah, getting rocks thrown at him. It is rude. Even though he just ate someone. Ugh. You figure if people are this upset just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. A few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. I didn't realize I could probably save and come back, but that's... We'll avenge our fallen comrades this time. Who's this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. Hero struggles. You feel the sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero's overtaken, your army is won. You've earned your rest. Victorious underling and just got friggin' murdered. We'll skip it this time. Okay, now we'll save ourselves. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You just feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons. Or you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep dark forest somewhere. Deserter underling. Alright, there was that. Oh, I don't have that one unlocked yet. Or how to unlock it. Okay. Won't make him dutiful this time. That's what we'll do. Ah, disloyal. Gobbler up. Right and leave. Okay. Don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. Rude. They're very eager to talk to you about the whole kill the Overlord plan. You admit you hadn't given it much thought and only just now remembered it was a thing. Your friends question your loyalty to the cause. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you were just joking, clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible at jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. By your friends, talk about the plan, curious to deal with. You're gonna set the room on fire, stupid plan, what could go wrong? You realize your friends are a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance, your guidance. Probably be casualties if you fight her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. You can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. It's almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Oh, there's the new one. Little chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panic whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed while your head is turned. The demons shut the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe these assholes would pull you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open. To no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Oh my god. Cowardly underling. End. Just get burned alive in the closet. Ugh. Okay, so I got that one now. So if I go to kill her instead... What? Overthrow her. What up? Thief. Kill the Overlord. Time to die. You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you do just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased. Only now do they realize they must have planned to use you. Only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning. You're the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you have betrayed your overlord. Lord, underling, and B. And these underling ones are going pretty quick. I only got one left. Alright. Trusting. So let's follow this little path. Not possessive. Wait, yes, princess. Not tyrant. Yes, polite. Antisocial. Obedient. Trusting. That leads to it. Alrighty, let's start this up again. Even underling and service. Skip all this. Gobble her up. Oh, wait, that was wrong. Let's die then. Okay, now we'll do it correctly this time. Do it again. Oil. To be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one else has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. Bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. The maiden for killing practice. Toss her in the dungeon. Your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, sure. Save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. Maiden's very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. And now a hero's arrived at the front gates. He's asking about Maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines, before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. Get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. Wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. Spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. Finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who manages to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you had betrayed your overlord. Alright, Lord Underling and B. Is that all for him? No. Okay, so resolute and merciful. Right, Underling one last time. Okay, the hero joins you for about... Start. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. Pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish you'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you sided with her. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead, looking around. You've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You all burn together. That's what makes it true. Couldn't resist seeing it for yourself. You collect them all. Down from beyond the curtain. You found locked. Can I read those letters? Many patrons have come here, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety in kind. But I know that you've always listened to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to try. All right. All right, so the maiden this time. And trusting, disloyal, obedient. Alright, we'll be the maiden. Alright, we'll read it time and then we'll skip it the next time. Demon Overlord's castle. You're capturing those. You haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. You're aren't exciting. You're captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find an outlaw, a demon. It looks pretty scary. We'll introduce ourselves. And explain that you're a maiden. You tell me maybe you could understand if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have been listening, which is a little irritating. You agree to take you to the master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk to her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Obey her. Yeah. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. You know the Overlord's castle is right there. How rude. I know everyone's so rude in this story to each other. You explain everything that happened. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. Two of you returned to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They had all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. Villagers seemed confused and looked to the hero for an explanation. He tells them that he only ran into you on his way to the castle and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. Pretty shocked that everyone still hasn't believed you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, if you are conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Grab the hero and run. Boldly announce that you will accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. Talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demon, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? Demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognized from before barges in, calling you a liar. Surprised they were a part of this evil plot, they seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now, it's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. He watches it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. Think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. There's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. About made an end. Alright. That one. As well as I expected. Alright. Oh, what? I thought I did that right, but apparently not. Okay, not resolute then. Okay, so not resolute. Loyal. Okay, so not resolute. Don't do that. Let's skip some. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. Make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. Talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately noticed you overheard them. The underling you recognized from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered made in an instant. Douche. Alright, so then we gotta do captor. Instant ramen. Yeah, that was her belly. It was just instant ramen noodles because they came splurging out. Wait, I picked the wrong character. Dang it. Yeah, let's just die right now. Okay. Flip it here. Am I not supposed to quick oh, there we go. Make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. As you get closer, you start to notice a tower of black smoke blackening the beautiful blue sky. The castle is engulfed in flames. What in God's name could have happened? Scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room. The door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick, you can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord. You just stayed true to your role. Things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. Let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. That's not what I wanted either. What am I doing wrong? Okay. We'll get this right. Antisocial, obedient, trusting. Well, maybe I gotta be diplomatic too. I guess. Let's try this again, I guess. Okay. So no one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. As you approach the castle, you notice something's gone terribly wrong. It appears to be on fire. Is the Overlord alright? You have to be sure everyone is safe. Already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. Oh, okay. That wasn't right. What the heck? Resolute does this, which is not right. Try a different one, I guess. Try some hero ones, I guess. Oh. Does it need to be disloyal and then captor? That's where I'm wrong. Why? Just try a different one. It's getting annoying. Alright, so we got dutiful. Wait, can I do it this way? Martyr. You're the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You're told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. Head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. Demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Let's do it. Let's get all this. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The overlord wails, "Why did you do that?" You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The overlord strikes at you in a vengeful rage. You parry, and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes. Blood, so much blood. You look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would you protect the overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. You pick up the overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape. Begin your long journey back to town. You will say that you were too late, that nothing could be done for the girl, but the overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Wow. Loyal hero. Lie. Just lie to them. Not like they care anyways. Kind of dickheads. Alright. Go this way. We got antisocial. Got flee from the demons. Obedient. Trusting. Disloyal and captor. But not resolute. Obedient. Trusting. Obedient. Okay. Hero time. We're gonna skip all this. We're gonna flee like a coward. We're gonna believe her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel you should trust her. Tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. Townspeople must be informed of this immediately. Oh, right. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. Villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens, or anything of the sort. Villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. Town's elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the overlord immediately, and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You're not sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already. But that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. Can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return they lock her up. The demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand that they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the fuck are you doing killing all my soldiers? Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all demonkind. You clash again and again. The Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero. Oh, that's when the underling killed you. Got it. Alright. So now, the hero believes the main story, and then resolute, we gotta do that. Disloyal. Not merciful first. Onwards we go. Flee like a coward. Story. You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. As you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces that she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her. She has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits. When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating their overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. Burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. The demon underling emerges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. Grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling and is crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. Right, before I do that, I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. Resigned to your end. Alright. I think we just got the last one. Okay, you just got me merciful. Okay. The next moment the Overlord has taken hold of the underling, is crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? I guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Hero's true end. Letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 1. Okay. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this, it's unreasonable. Cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Is the other one comedy? Because that'd be kind of funny. Right. For some reason, I cannot get this maiden end to work. I'm just gonna get rid of all these other ones. Only do the ones I need. Okay. So not hungry. Social, yes. Obedient. Trusting. Not resolute. Disloyal. Captor. Let's try it. Suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. Your thing turned off again. Weird. Talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. Cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back in your village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? I hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? He's out there. Your cries don't reach him. After a while, violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. You just die in your cell. Got it. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. Okay, we got the second one. Alright. Letter number 2. My love, I've finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I opened up my very own theater. You'd be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it. wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. Alright. Got 6 more endings for the Overlord. God. Alright, so... not Tyrant. Wish there was a way to just turn all these off. Okay, so not antisocial. Beautiful. Alright. You're the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you'd think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero. His whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself, everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. Don't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stay in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. The Overlord is pretty cool. She is cool. She's kind of narcissistic, though. She's like, yeah, I'm awesome. Oh. What to do with this underling? Well, we're gonna give them a day off, because they're cool. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You had nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. She sleeps like a friggin' vampire. You wake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. The maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, or regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough? How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she'd stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Well, let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You're glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. I'm surprised to hear her thank you. I've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. People in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. Can't tell if she's into you or not. God. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden's getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing, no big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into the room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle has really taken it out of you. That hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There's no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing. But you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Oh, that's kind of sad. Forgot what he had coming. Alright. Do the next one. Diplomatic. Okay. Heroic. Alright. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He suddenly strikes, cutting through you with this blade. He didn't even hesitate. Ah, you've gone soft. How could you have let your guard down like that? How unfair. After all you've done to avoid this outcome, you can't outrun your destiny. The hero always slays the overlord. You should never have trusted a human. You watch as the hero escorts the maiden out of your castle. Captured by a demon, at least you got what you came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Slain overlord. Right. Next. I guess we'll do the murder. The day off. Or stay for a while. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. Before you even know how to react, he makes his move, and the maiden makes hers. She used her own body to shield you from the hero's blade. Why? Why has this happened? The maiden falls to the floor, lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. The hero has taken something precious from this world. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been sated. You go on to destroy them all, and become ruler of the entire world. She is cool. Alright. Next one is we gotta make her possessive. Oh, don't need to play the tutorial. Diplomatic. Oh, so not heroic. Take heroic out. Let her stay for a while. Everything explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. We're gonna keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. Tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. You won't let her go. Maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. Take a step toward the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero is trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Wow, okay. Selfish overlord. Alright, only a couple endings left. We'll go this way. All these off. Tyrant. Tyrant. Hungry. Hopefully to the same spot. How? Social. Obedient. Loyal. Interesting. Antisocial. Obedient. Loyal and trusting. Lord. Oh, right. I did that wrong. Social. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. Oh, wait. Alright, so tell her she better go home. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. Put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her to leave. Figure you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. You wake up to the sounds of battle. A hero's cutting through your army. As the overlord, it's your job to take charge in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons, I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all. You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. A girl's gotta defend her people. Clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down easily. Both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move, when one of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't they see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Blood is everywhere. Can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Great Overlord and A is the next one. Oh, there's only one left? Okay, so... Oh, obedient, okay. Resolute, disloyal. Right. Get the day off. Let you better go home. But you don't get to rest for very long. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone's shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambitions cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You weren't sure if you had the strength to back it up, though lately all you do is sleep. A group of demons starts muttering something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly slammed at your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room. by those you thought you could trust. Should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration. You don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. You cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot, knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. We're gonna take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws, they scream. Throw backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. Underling's corpse burns along with you and the T-humans. Spiteful Overlord end. Oh, but I got the last one, because I got the true end like the second time I played. A letter flutters down beyond the curtain. Found last letter number 4. Alright, number 4, here we go. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor souls have to die? You're so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me it really would be better if everyone could live in harmony. However unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day. Even now, I wonder if, somewhere, you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Right, well, we've gotten all the bad endings, so I guess it's time to go. Congratulations, you've explored every path I had to offer. Thanks for playing. I think I'm supposed to click this little sad face thing. It can't end like this. I think this is the end to end. I think I'll save for a second. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? Nothing you can do by acting from within their story. Maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. I'm me. We're all on fire. Yeah, they're all on fire. And then there's me, I guess. Boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. Didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? Take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you. But why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. I guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? I've come to save you. You explain to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates, and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be... for God? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passe? Passe? I think that's what you say. Bleh. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. Didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way into this stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. And sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. But I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I want to see something new. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. Oh my god. What am I supposed to do? The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Full attack. Try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Kill God. Wait, let me try that again. Defend. Try closing off your heart to protect yourself. But it doesn't make you feel any better. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Oh my gosh. Behold, my beautiful tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here. It's the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Summon. Find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. How can you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. Wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? Don't seem to be wearing any. Remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offered to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero? Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. It's gonna be a tailor? I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. Excuse me. The hero's arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Owie. Summon someone else. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing, she approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. Explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are. In a sense, you've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping to meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of the story, after all. Our role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach a place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change your fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. So how? What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. And this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh, I do have health. True endings do exist, they simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. The maiden tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive, I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty. Deplete all the sacred jewel shards to beat God. Exactly. So it seems like. Hero tries using his belief in justice to fight tragedy. That justice applies to you too, does it not? Will you pay for your own misdeeds? Willpower? The reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. Hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. I'm gonna summon an underling, I guess. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? Explain that no, you're not an intruder. Although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. Tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try save me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work all the time. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. Think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't be so reckless. True end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. There's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling, You must be desperate to call in such an unreliable ally. Huh. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with terrible fate. The underling tries to evade tragedy through mischievous means. You're so much fun. Would you like a reminder of where that mischief will lead you? The closet? Tenacity. Knock me down and just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Time for the Overlord. They're in the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? Explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. This quest for revenge was endless and perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. True end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. Ah, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with terrible fate. Ha ha ha! Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's heart united, you take aim toward your best possible futures. You will unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Did it. Yay. Hahaha. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. Tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. Is God dead? Yeah, we're getting there. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, Hero, starring Hero as himself. Thank you, Maiden, starring Maiden as herself. Thank you, Underling, starring Underling as themselves. And then thank you, Overlord, starring Overlord as herself. Enough Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Written and produced by Tragedy. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Directed by you. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. No. No. Well, I did my best. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind, but you earned this one. Here's your true ending. I want to click the other one now, but can't. Oh look, there's the hero as a tailor. Art music by Nam Nam Nami.
To the lost but cold, take your seats everyone, welcome to bed and theater. When the curtains close, you'll come away stronger, or maybe you'll break. Not my fault you sought this pain, sharing my misery.
They're together in the tower. How cute.
Eternity, labyrinth of suffering.
Sounds like one of those automaton things. It might be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. There was someone who credited with music though.
Searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater. Though its blaze were cold, I still felt this warmth from them. Isn't that strange? Can't help thinking of your face. For all your tragedies, all right, happy endings. Undo all our suffering. I've missed you, my darling.
Or true end. I wish I could see what happens if I say the other thing, but I'd have to probably go through it. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here? The curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. There is one more. Ask Tragedy its story. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Ha ha ha! Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Remove the mask. It's just gonna be me a bit. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing... It's the maiden! Should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's like she isn't me. Necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear not another ending, but the truth? Tell me. Duh. Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out, to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. Haha, a running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time, everything was just wonderful. Their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her, and then I started this theater. The story. Huh? Yeah, it's me. I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You know I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Cute. Now truly, yes, hearts. Heartsies. Is that thing. Now truly everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. Alrighty. Well, I'm glad did that. I'm glad I bought this game. It's closed now. It's got a little close sign. That's cute. So yeah, that was Bad End Theater. Woohoo! We're all done. Yeah, I did the heart thing. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Hello. That was Bad End Theater. I mean, I played through the whole thing, so at least I finished it. If you missed the first part or any of the beginning of the stories and whatnot, I do read them all out in the first part, which I have on YouTube. And then this video will also be on YouTube if you missed part of it. If you like what I'm doing, because I play games like this and others, you can always subscribe either here and or on YouTube. And we'll be back again next time. So have a good night. Bye.